a mechanical engineer by degree, an operations manager by work experience, and a business analyst by choice, entrepreneur at heart. Nimish has done justice to each one of his roles. In his college time itself, he has designed EVs, solving problems for the environment. Such a noble thing. Now he is solving problems for the artists. His newest venture, book.studio.com, helps content creators by providing them quality spaces for their content creation. Interesting profile, isn't it? So today we are going to dive deep into Nimish's career journey and talk about a niche topic, and stay tuned for the topic. Hello, hi there. Welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series, the Guiding Voice for a Better Future. This podcast is to help professional students, IT employees, and entrepreneurs to shape their careers. Dear listeners, in every episode, we talk to industry experts, or thought leaders, or coaches, or academicians across the globe to drive some insightful conversations that will help each one of our listeners learn great things. Also, we share an interesting trivia about IT world or technology towards the end. So stay tuned till the end to learn more and more new things. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Naveen Samala, your host for the day, and I'll be going solo as Sudhakar is out. So today we are going to discuss a topic: should you pursue a career trajectory? And let us dive deep into what career trajectory is and how Nimish was able to pursue career trajectory successfully. So let's hear from Nimish. And first of all, let me welcome Nimish. Nimish, welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series.
Thank you, Naveen. Thanks for having me on the show. It's a pleasure talking to you.
All right. And pleasure hosting you as well. So, Nimish, let's get started with the first question. What is career trajectory in general?
Career trajectory. I think it is something that people at both ends of the spectrum, that is the career, look up to. At the start, you go on to look up at the start, you plan on how it would go. And at the other side, you look about a career that working on X number of companies, Y number of years, and so on and so forth. If you measure your career success with positions you have held, it would somewhat be a 45-degree line with a positive slope. That's what I guess a general career trajectory would mean.
Wonderful. I think that's a good summary of it. And now share with our audience about what has been your career trajectory.
My career trajectory. I started my engineering with 5.74 CGPA, and I remember playing cricket in front of thermodynamics exam with the guy who actually scored a 10. I was there because I didn't know from where to start. You being an engineer, Naveen, you might have an idea that once the GPA drops, it's really hard to pull it up. And it took me donkey's effort to put it up to 7.06 by the end of my engineering. I got some sense of myself around in the after the end of second year, where I felt that yes, I need to do something about my career. Where I joined a few clubs, a few societies, and fortunately got to be a part of Team Urja, the go-kart making team in the college. It was a kind. Later, even I got an opportunity to lead that team. It was an thrilling experience where we won the best design award for the electric vehicle. We were the second best acceleration in the final lineup in the second year in the second event, and altogether it gave me a hard skin that I have today because the failures that we went through, there were days that our transmission tanked, and at 10 p.m., 11 p.m. at night on a February chilly night, we were calling random people in order to inquire, okay, we have this issue and how can we solve this. So it is something that has given me a hope and optimism that yes, okay, anything and everything can be worked out. It's not the end of the world if things don't work out. I went on to work at Maruti as an intern in the sixth semester for my 6 month internship. Interesting thing happened at Maruti. While I joined Maruti, I started exploring the GATE, the GATE forum, the GATE Academy made easy for my MTech purpose. At that point in time, my sister inquired to me that why are you doing MTech? I said, because maybe that I have done BTech, I have a 4 year, I'm pursuing mechanical engineering. And that's when she said, if you want to do MTech just because you have done a BTech in mechanical, please don't do it. And then that's what kind of realization I got that, okay, my past doesn't have to have an implication on what decisions I take in the future. And that's when I started from core to switching to a management role. And that was the reason why I got even a captain of Team Urja, got to be a captain of Team Urja. So that concept I see is the sunk cost fallacy concept that I see with a lot of people today. Fortunately, I got to take that call in the very early in my career, like in the sixth semester, third year of my engineering. People get that kind of realization maybe later, and then they're feeling like, okay, I have a 4 year degree, I have 3 year of work ex, now I can't just switch to another profile or another domain. But I think that it is just that the distance you go, it gets tougher. Obviously it gets tougher, but again, it's not getting any easier, so that you can't say, okay, I can't do it today, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. You can't do it tomorrow because it's even harder tomorrow. So I got placed into RIL, again a refinery. And no matter how much you prepare yourself to be in a refinery, you are never prepared enough. And when you enter a remote location at Moti Khawadi, Jamnagar, I had a kind of realization, okay, this is great, it is an engineering marvel, but I am not really fit for this engineering marvel. I can't really have that appetite to work, for those hours, and I don't have an appetite to work at odd hours. So going ahead, RAL was a place where I started learning everything I got. Like if there were two people walking by and saying that yes, this is a good course and you should try that, and I overheard them, I would go home and start doing that course. Over the course of my RAL, I did some 20, 30 courses from different 5, 6 different platforms: Coursera, Udemy, DataCamp, and a number of others. I explored all of them. When RAL ended, I didn't want to go up to like jumping out of the fry pan into a fire. So in order to have that, I took a break. I didn't go for a job directly. And the people asked me, my manager asked me, what do you plan to do? I said, just clear my head out and maybe figure out what exactly I want, rather than just because the society drives us in a way that yes, एक job से निकलो दूसरे में जाओ. You can't be unemployed at any point in time. And when we start engineering, we are actually start engineering with a safety net. Do engineering, job mil jayega, and you remain employed. And that was the kind of you can say the contradictory in a view that I had, that yes, it's important to love the place you are, and for that you may need to have a break. You need to clear your head out. You need to work out possibilities. You need to work out if you even like the job that you're going for. That break helped me figure out, okay, supply chain is my area of interest. Analyst is something that's interesting problems it is. And I finally broke through 1MG. Now 1MG as a business analyst. Today it is Tata 1MG. 1MG was also a steep learning curve. Like first 3 months, I remember making blunders, getting like a lot of mails and asking like, why is this happening and why did you do this to that. So there was a lot of steep learning curve, and at some point in time, I was even exploring that yes, okay, will I be fit here? In case I not, what do I do? I have already exhausted my core. I am into non-core, and I am struggling. So, but eventually things worked out. The team was really great. It was really supportive. My manager was really supportive, and in 6 months I was doing well. And over the course of 1.5 years, I did literally nailed it. Like I got to work with the CEO, CFO, CTO, and it was fun. So it was one of the best journeys that 1MG gave me. While I was at RAL, I went for Jagrati Yatra, a 15-day entrepreneurial journey, and there I met Dipanshu Rathi, my co-founder for this venture, Book That Studio. It was in April 2020 that we were discussing his idea, and it was fun. I had a lot of inclination towards e-commerce. I knew about e-commerce well, and I could really comprehend the concept of Book That Studio into an e-commerce. And we decided, okay, let's work it together in friendly capacity, irrespective of no strings attached. Okay, what money I get, what equity I get. It's more about creating something valuable. It's creating something that people would love to use. That's the end goal. Started working together over the course of like 6 months, 8 months. We started feeling that yes, things are picking up well. It's a good customer response we are getting. There's a good market opportunity. There's good analysis that we were able to do. And hence, in December 2021, I decided let's pursue it full time. And today here I am like 6 months into it, and we are well placed to like launch in a month's time. And we are having all the spectrums covered, where we are working on a lot of aspects of marketing, the operations, the finance, hiring. And it is a kind of an awesome, incredible journey that I'm going through.
That's simply amazing. In fact, I envy on you because the kind of things that you have shared typically takes for someone at least 10 to 15 years. Okay, as you mentioned, but you got some early experiences and got some real good inputs. And one thing which I should admire about you is you took everything positively and you started carrying that particular learning with you, and that is taking you places. And definitely I see you in a very good position maybe a few years from now. So kudos to you and thanks for sharing all the information so candidly. And you touched upon some harsh realities, saying that if you are done with the graduation, probably you should not remain unemployed and look for post graduation. Yeah, this is something which we have to change, right, in the Indian society. And people also have one more thing more about either get into engineering stream or medical stream, as if there is no other field as such. But having looked at your profile and having witnessed this particular last few minutes of conversation and all, it is so inspiring to see that you're operating with certain leap of faith assumptions and taking risks, and you have that particular appetite to do something different. Wonderful. So, Nimish, why should someone pursue career trajectory?
The simple reason for career pursuing a career trajectory is that, for example, like you and me have something in mind that we want to pursue. If we say that yes, the risk associated with pursuing that thing today is X, what do you think the risk will be with the time to come? It is never gonna decrease with the incoming of responsibilities, with the incoming of the pressure, and so many things that we need to manage at later stages of a career, not only professionally but even personally. It's not practical to pursue those things at later stage. So at the same time, we are having a reduction in risk appetite. For example, today you have less responsibilities, you can take a certain risk, but tomorrow probably you won't be able to. So it's important that yes, once you have that in mind, you need to pursue it. For example, like in suppose in 1995, when our parents used to pursue their careers or were into the early stages of their career, they didn't had any much information. For example, they had to whatever the neighborhood was doing or the mohalla was doing was more than enough for them as a testimony what can be done in a career. In today's world, we have everything at our fingertips. Now, if a person X is doing wonders and we come to know, and it is something that you also think that you could have done really well, probably you will start feeling guilty that yes, yaar, are yaar, try nahi kara. So it's important that yes, you go on to explore, you go on to find out that what you love, because there is someone out there who is pursuing it. So that you have a better satisfaction that yes, okay, you gave your 100%, you realized your full potential. For that, you need to pursue things that you mm, feel that you want to do. Now, that one simple question that I was asked at Jagrati Yatra, he said, "What is the age?" I said, 22 years. And he told, "So your generation has the average lifespan of 75 years. So you'll have, on an average, working life of 40 years left. So can you do the present job for 40 years of your life, the day you are?" And I was like, "No, that's practically not possible. I am like completely saturated with my present job and I plan to move on." And he said, "That's it." He said, "Probably you should go about exploring new job opportunities till 30 years of age because you have that kind of risk appetite till then. Once you have at 30, you have hopped on to 5, 6 job roles in 5, 6 companies, you have some idea of what exactly you want to do. All you need to do is maximize the percentage of work that you like. In a company starting, you may like only 10% of the work that is given to you. In the second company, that may raise up to 30 to 40%. In the sixth, by the sixth company, you have that things figured out like 80 to 90% things are something that you love to do, and 10% of stuff that you don't really like. So the whole point is that go on to maximize the amount of work that you like. I have seen people committing this error that yes, when they switch from one company to another, they are planning from that 10% to 100% altogether at once. And it's practically impossible because the factors are multiple. For example, location is one factor, the timing is one factor, the job profile is another factor, compensation is another factor. You can't go on to fix every aspect of it in a one go. You probably need 3, 4 steps where you first fix the location. Maybe you want to move to NCR. The second part is you want to fix your profile and you may not get that kind of required compensation that you were looking for. Maybe 6 months down the line, you switch and then fix your compensation. So it's a step-by-step process, and but as we just want quick results, we want like instantaneous. We want things to happen like this. Take job, I want everything sorted. That's the kind of thing that I see that people need to accept. Okay, things go gradually. You have 40 years of your life. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint that you need to cover up in one job only. Pursuing career trajectory is more about ensuring that yes, you fulfill your potential, you realize your potential, and ensure that yes, you do justice to
Amazing. I really need to admire for your maturity again. You're talking a lot of great things out here, which audience can really pay attention to and take the nuances and apply for their own career path and all. And you touched upon right strings actually. One of them being the mohalla people, whatever they are doing, I want to do that. It's a kind of herd mentality again, which has to change in Indian mindset, or the ecosystem around us, right? And you also touched upon this 40-year life cycle, which is very important in terms of the first 10 years itself. Like, they are going to determine what is going to be next. But again, looking at you, I would say people like you, right? They can take a different turn at any different point in time, depending on the risk appetite, and as long as you are confident about yourself, right? So you touched upon some wonderful points. So I'm glad that we are having this kind of conversation. Next, switching gears slightly and talking about how important is the career change, right, and how to pursue it successfully.
Being an entrepreneur, I receive a lot of resumes where people want to work with me, and I take it as a resume as a deciding factor. How serious are you for a job reflects from your resume. If there are errors, formatting errors, or the resume is not well built, probably I have judged you that you are not serious about a job. You can have 100 reasons for it. Okay, I didn't have know how to use formatting Word, or I don't have a format, or I don't have a content, whatever it is. But if you didn't do justice to your resume, probably you were not really serious enough for your job. And so, resume is one thing that I take as of paramount importance. In fact, I got my resume professionally made after the end of RIL, because I was not really convinced with the ones I made. And I wanted to ensure that, yes, before I ask people to do it, it's important that I am satisfied with what I am doing it. So resume is one thing that I look up to. When people fail to understand, like, not exactly fail, but I recommend people to do projects. Now, why I was interested in supply chain, I didn't got a supply chain job directly. What I did was I went through Coursera, did a supply chain specialization, and learned a lot about supply chain. And similarly, I went on to do SQL course from Udemy, and I was ready for a supply chain and analyst. And in the interviews, we had a lot of discussion around supply chain, how to do about it, what is demand planning, what is SKUs, and all that. We had enough discussion about it. I asked people that, yes, okay, in case you want to make a career shift, you are into core industry, want to move into data science, or want to move into analytics, or you want to move into operations, or maybe even the CS people. Now, CS people, some people want to go from core development to ML, creating algorithms. You just need to showcase a relevant experience. The recruiter is not looking for you to have patents and do copyrights and have that kind of stellar profile. He is looking for a spark that, yes, you are interested in it and you will be able to handle it. Industry is really open enough to give opportunities. I am really glad about that. Yes, at 1MG, my team lead gave me a chance where I had operations experience. He literally betted on a rookie, I would say today. I'm not sure his perspective, but from my end, when they gave me a job, I was like, okay, they have literally played blind today, and I need to ensure they play good. So it's important. Industry is open enough. Industry wants to have people who want to prove themselves, who are seeking redemption, and probably you just need to show that spark. That spark comes from different kind of projects you do, different kind of courses you do, different kind of experiences you go for. Even people undermine the value of NGOs and their experiences. NGOs are the most selfless and best places to work at. I have myself been associated with a couple of them, and there you get to get an opportunity to explore different areas, and people don't really judge you for that, because in a job, people ask you, okay, he might be needing a promotion, he might be needing a better project, he might be switching. That's why he's trying for another project, another role. But in NGOs, it's open field. You go on to try everything. It's not anyone is questioning you why you're doing this. They are open and helpful if you want to try new stuff. And NGOs give you a good insight that, yes, how it works. Probably you can use those insights in your projects in a new company. So people need to understand that, yes, there needs to be some column of relevant experience in your profile before you make a switch. And that experience doesn't need to be a full-time experience in your company. It could be anything. It could be courses, it could be projects. I personally prefer to have a passion projects column in my CV where I pursue ideas. For example, we all drink tea every day. Has anyone ever wondered that, yes, the saucepan, whenever it overflows, there's the gas is in a mess. Probably a better design to a saucepan that could control the overflow, which saves so much of tea as well as the effort of cleaning the gas. So the point here is that you just need to find out problems, work out a solution, and then probably put them as a passion project. It showcases your ability to think. It showcases your ability to identify problems and solve them. And that's what industry needs. See, what happens is everyone has problems. You just need to give a solution. Probably I tried designing a pan, and I don't really think it's good enough that would solve the problem. But you at least try. You at least showcase that, yes, you know problems that exist and problems that not many people see at the first go. So It's important that yes, you showcase yourself in your resume, and in case to showcase yourself, it's not only your experience. Your experience never justifies who you are. You need to showcase whatever you think, and in a tangible way. Probably you think about a problem, put it in a problems you want to solve. Probably passion projects that you want to put up. Average it is 6 seconds that a recruiter spends on a resume. You need to please him in 6 seconds, literally. If you spend the whole on IT skills, I am a time manager and I am a quality expert and I have hands-on experience. These are subjective. They do not quantify anything. These are in, anyone can write that. You need to showcase an experience or a thought process that justifies all of it, and that's what matters.
Wonderful. These are again some great tips from your side, and I resonate with you with regard to having gaps in resume is okay, but how you are spending the time makes really a difference. And the resume should be free from errors, because first of all, if you are not spending enough time in terms of tweaking your profile itself, right? How can organization trust about your work? And you rightly mentioned, yeah, about the 6 to 8 second attention span of resume and all. So wonderful conversation so far, and I would really be interested to go through your resume, Nimish, now that you've got it crafted very well, and you look for so many different things. So send me your resume after the conversation if you don't mind.
Sure.
And yeah, talking about the CTC, because I get questioned by many of my people who look up to me and all. They ask like, I got an offer from X company with Y CTC, and from Z company with some WCTC. Which one should I join? And what should be the role of CTC when you are changing your careers?
Honestly, I prefer that yes, at the start of the career, you should have a lower CTC because the lower CTC allows you a lot of flexibility to switch ships. What happens is like there's the industry average. For example, you say the analyst role and average starts at 8 lakhs. Now, if you are in a core industry that's already giving you 12 lakhs, that is giving you at par with the industry, you can probably never switch to a non-core role because HR won't trust you. You, if you take a pay cut, HR knows that yes, 6 months you are running away. If you and they can't afford you to give that kind of money that you are already withdrawing. So CTC plays a really important role in initial years. I know that yes, we live in a status-driven society where your CTC defines of how good you are in your work and everything. But it's important for people to realize that yes, if you have a lower CTC, you have a lot of flexibility. You have a lot of flexibility to switch into careers. You have changed careers because at the start of the career, you're looking for options. You're not looking for money. In fact, starting at a lower CTC helped me figure out that yes, my survival cost is very low, and I was sure that okay, if even if I get like 25-30K a month, at any point in time in my career, I'll be staying comfortably. Now the whole point is, should I be doing that for the money or should I be doing that for the love of my work? If I do it for work, I will obviously score more than that. And in case if I do it just for money, then this is bare minimum and I'm happy with it. My life will keep working. I'll have a roof. I'll have a 2 times meal. So the important part is that the bare minimum CTC you need, just figure out the difference between need and a want, and you will see that yes, you don't need a high CTC at a start of it. Obviously, we all have a lot of plans that is, I want to gift this to my parents or my sister or my siblings or whatever. But at the same time, you also need to realize that yes, it is a kind of trap where it limits your options. I see a lot of people in my batch who started with a higher CTC had to end up leaving their job without a backup, obviously, and they went on to prepare for MBA and got through MBA after a year. So they couldn't really. At the same time, given I started at an average CTC, it was really easy for me to make a switch, and it helped me advance my career a lot because the learnings that I had were pretty different and pretty like different career trajectory, you can say. So CTC plays a key role on how you move ahead with your career, and it's important to have a lower CTC. Like I prefer, if someone has a lower CTC, I bless them. I say, yeah, it's great. You have a lot of opportunities. You have a lot of options because we don't know what we want to do. Colleges are pretty different. Like in engineering, we created 2 cars. I was a captain of the car, and I know how fun it was creating a whole new vehicle out of it, designing it, and then assembling it and buying stuff, and every aspect of it was fun. But when you go to the industry, you see that is that's not how industry works. Probably in order to be at that point in time, to be at that juncture where you can take decisions in a mechanical engineering, you need to 5 to 10 years of experience or either a good master's, and then you need to make a realization, okay, Do I really need to wait 10 years? Do I have that kind of patience and love for the industry? Or do I want a fast paced career or I need to switch and move ahead? And that decisions and are get well complemented by a CTC. If you have a higher CTC, it evades you of a flexibility to take that kind of
Great.
job.
Great, Nimish. I think this is something eye-opening, and people fall into the trap of hire the CTC. And you also touched upon this status symbol. And unfortunately, our society is like that, wherein people who make more money are treated with respect, and they think they are successful and all. But it's also about how happy you are, and at the end of the day, you are able to sleep properly or not, right?
Yes.
And as you rightly mentioned, if the CTC is in the median range or probably in the lower percentile, right, you'll have a lot of choices. I'll quote some examples. Every year, normally, if you take these prominent universities and the IITs and NITs, we come across this column saying that the highest CTC for one of these students is 80 lakhs per year or 1.2 crores and all, right? And they are in the limelight for that particular one day. And I don't come across their profile again after a year or 2 years. Because if a company is hiring them for 2 crores or 3 crores per year, they should do wonders, right? Why are they not being visible? Yep. I think you touched upon a right set of things and all, and definitely great conversation so far. And now let's talk about your learnings out of the career trajectory. So, because you have taken a road that is less traveled and you are super duper confident about yourself, right? So, what are your learnings out of this less taken path?
The very first is that you should back yourself to do anything and everything. No
Hmm.
one came in the world with their new coding first time, or they knew how to make a Ferrari first day. Everyone learned it. So I guess everyone should back themselves to go and learn. And in today's in edtech world where we have so many courses, knowledge available on the web, YouTube is filled with courses. YouTube is you can it's better than any edtech on available today. So back yourself to learn anything and everything. May it be of your profile, may it not be of your profile. Doesn't really matter. Secondly, when you do things for the first time, you will commit errors and you will commit mistakes of the level that you will be embarrassed of to talk about. You will be like, okay, this is so basic, so elementary, and I committed mistake in this. But this is a part when you come without an experience and learn things from hands on. That's what I, even in the startup that we're working on, in last 6 months, if we sit together one day and figure out all the mistakes we have done, we feel like, okay, we could have done a lot better. Probably if we would have maybe being remote is one reason to it. We can't have that kind of conversations. But at the same time, I feel that yes, there were some errors that we can fix. Even in the earlier stage of my career, like at RAL or at 1MG, I did a lot of elementary problems in my mistakes. So mistakes will stay. They shouldn't allow you to think any less of you. These are something that will coexist. These will, even after 30 years of a work career, mistakes will coexist. Maybe the percentage may reduce, but they will coexist. So it's and at some point in time, I also had kind of feeling that yes, I'm not good enough because I'm committing errors. But then I realized that yes, even after committing errors, if I could do well, I'm good to go. I don't really need to be perfect in order to achieve something. If imperfection is helping me reach it, I'm good to go.
Great. Interesting thought process there. Yeah, I concur with you on failure is not fatal and not final as well. And based on my 18 years of experience and all, there were some ups and downs. And at times, if I look back in the hindsight, right, some of them have become or remain a favorite failure. There is something to learn out of everything, right? And talking something about spiritually or philosophically, right? You will get what you are destined to as well, right? And if something is not working and not in your favor, just don't think it is a catastrophic, and you have something better to offer, right? Wonderful. So, Nimish, this conversation has been very serious, full of learnings, full of GAN, and lot of insightful perspectives. Maybe I want to make this little spicy. So, I would like to open up a few rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Wonderful. So, let me fire the first bullet out of my rapid fire. What is the most adventurous thing that you have done so far, Nimish?
Adventurous thing. People told me that yes, leaving job at RAL without any kind of backup was the most adventurous thing that you did. And in fact, even I today look back and see, I think I may not have that kind of vigor to leave the job again. without any kind of backup and knowledge. But leaving that job at REL was one of the most daring things that I did till now, I guess.
That's scary, and especially at your age, I can imagine what kind of comments that you have come across. So here comes my next one. What is your favorite rejection?
My favorite rejection was Young India Fellowship 2020. So in 8th Feb 2020, I got waitlisted for Young India Fellowship. I really loved the whole concept of how what Young India Fellowship is. But when I got waitlisted, I knew that as I was going to get rejected. I had a gut feel, and at that point in time, I took a decision that okay, its decision comes in May, the final decision. From Feb to May, I need to do things that would just make me feel that Young India Fellowship is too small for the things I am doing. And in April, I started up. So April, I started working up and started on work this startup. And I feel that yes, that really helped me push myself to do bigger things.
That's amazing, dude. You are inspiring. You are inspiring with every word of you. So fabulous, so fabulous. So here comes my next one, Nimish. Which celebrity would you date if you were given a chance?
Celebrity. I'd go with Dhwani Banushali, singer. I just love the way she sings. It will be interesting.
Okay, all right. So here comes my next bullet. Which object or animal would you compare yourself with?
I once did an animal spirit test for humans that it was, and it came out to be butterfly. And
Oh,
I
wow.
then I was confused on why, and I went on to read, and it told that yes, okay, you are more inclined towards the personal growth, and butterfly grows from a cocoon, and it is go undergoes self development. So probably butterflies may be something that I would relate to.
Yeah, this reminds me certain things about butterfly. It is the best example that is given in any of the transformation sessions and all. Because caterpillar looks so dirty and people feel so allergic to imagine and look at it. However, or even touch it. But however, the butterfly, right? It transforms itself into vivid colors and all, and everybody aspires to touch it, right? Yeah, wonderful. Here comes my last one for the rapid fire. So, which one would you prefer out of super strength versus invisibility?
I would prefer super strength. There's a lot of stuff I want to do. Maybe super strength would help me do it in a one lifespan.
Wonderful. So, more power to you. I'm sure universe is going to help you out, and I wish you do everything that you wanted to. Again, going back to the mainstream, Nimish, I have a final question for this conversation because I would like to invite you again and again on our show. And what is your one piece of advice to those aspiring to make big in their careers?
Uh, just one advice is anything that adds value to your network, knowledge, skill, just do it. Irrespective, it is aligned with your present because it surely aligns with your interests. If there is something in your mind that you want to do, you should do it. Irrespective, you even if you are an engineer and you aspire to read biology, go for it. I started with the psychology honors at IGNU. And reading psychology, I feel like maybe if someone would have told me about all the fields better, about arts, engineering, commerce, and all, I would have chosen arts maybe. It's not that I don't like engineering, but I really loved the way psychology is. We could literally engineer people with psychology. You could understand, you could just see it is behavior of science. Basically, psychology is behavior of science. So even a hand movement from another person says a lot about them, and psychology helps you interpret it. Anything that adds value to your career, your network, your skill, any positive value, just do it.
Great. It has been an awesome and insightful conversation in today's episode. And few things which will remain forever with me are don't waste time and be willing to take risks, make the best use of your network, add value to the network. And in addition to that, don't chase for the money. Likewise, I can keep on going with the list of things that you have shared. Thank you so much for being part of the guiding voice. Really appreciate you joining us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
All right, so it brings us to the trivia segment of today's episode. So, folks, today's trivia is about QR codes, which stands for Quick Response Codes. So, originally, QR codes are invented back in 1994. But do you know what was the purpose? I know you are thinking, but let me tell you the secret as per the ritual. QR codes were initially used to track the vehicles as they were assembled. And it was actually invented in 1994 by former Toyota subsidiary Denso Wave as a means to quickly tracking the vehicles and parts through their manufacturing process. So Denso holds the patent to QR codes, but it made the technology for anyone to use. That's why we are using QR codes at least once in a day in the form of making a UPI transaction by scanning at any shop nearby. Thanks to COVID and thanks to the digitalization that has happened in the last 1.5 years at a rapid pace. So QR codes have now become part and parcel of everybody's life. Interesting, isn't it? Thank you for listening. There is more in store, folks. Stay tuned. Take care. Be safe. Until next time. Bye bye. And we are signing off for today. See you in the next episode with one more guest.